Well, hello, hello, General Hospital Daily Recap fans. Next week's going to be really, really good. We had to wait for the end of the show, like the last scene of the show, to see this. Tracy found the will. Yes, I had a sigh of relief when she found that will. I hated that they made us wait, but look, isn't that what Cliffhanger Friday is all about? They leave us hanging on the edge of a cliff, wondering, are we going to be rescued on Monday? So, the way, she was going to go through the boxes, even though Miss Lulu says, I'll help you go through each and every box in the morning, Lulu hightailed it out of there. She had to go cry to her mama about her children, both of them lying to her. And she feels they're pulling away. Charlotte, is pulling away because she really misses her father. And Rocco is pulling away, to Britt. I have not seen Rocco pull away to Britt at all, right? And so she says, Laura was telling her, your children aren't pulling away from you. You know how Charlotte feels about her father. And there's nothing wrong with that. But they're both dangerous people and blah, blah. She goes, Lulu, they're not pulling away from you by discussing their parents that they know, or not even Britt's not Rocco's parent, but by discussing relationships they want with other people that they know you don't like. Charlotte knows how you feel about her father. So she's not going to truly just discuss everything about him. And she says, and Rocco knows how you feel about Britt. He just has some questions. That's it. But he's trying to protect your feelings. That's how I see it, honey, which is what he's really trying to do. She said, yeah, but I want to be the one that they could come to and talk to. And she says, and they do, I'm sure, most things, but there are some things that they know you have a hard time hearing. And so she says, instead of worrying and trying to block Britt, why don't you invite her over? You'd be there while Rocco talks to her openly. She goes, what? She goes, yeah. Provide a safe, controlled space. You don't have to even be sitting right next to him, but you'd be there. You'd be around. So she goes, Rocco would then know, okay, he could come to you about questions about Britt. And she says, and you've taken Charlotte to see Valentine. That went a long way, right? So anyway, that and Martin, who I can't stand, came to see Laura, and she goes, I haven't seen you in a long time. He goes, yeah, I've been really busy with the clients, and she told him, I'm working back with Drew. She goes, Drew, I thought you quit working with Drew. Yeah, well, I ended up going back, you know, and he pays well. He says, look, I can't stand Drew, but I don't have to like the clients I represent. And she goes, no, I understand that. Because as mayor, there are some Congress people, some busy, there's all kinds of people that I can't stand. But in my duties as the mayor, I have to treat them equitably. So he goes, well, that's, what I'm at. She says, just don't let Drew get you into trouble, Martin. Don't break the laws for Drew. So he goes, oh, I won't. Not for Drew. And she looked at him like, wait, what is that supposed to mean? Who are you going to break the law for? And he goes, that's a joke, dear sister. That's a joke. And she goes, oh, okay. Right. So anyway, Lucy comes by, and actually they had Lucy actually give some good advice and actually be good company to someone for a change. She was telling Tracy, because of course she's trying to show Tracy some houses. And Tracy's like, I can't think about that right now. And she goes, Tracy, you are walling yourself off. And you aren't talking to anyone about your grief or even about Monica, losing Monica, or your other family members you've lost. Your family and others can help with that. Sharing stories help. And so they end up talking, and she goes, I did hate to see the house be sold. And I'm thinking, yeah, especially since you ain't getting a commission, because you sure thought nothing of giving Ronnie, you're trying to give her your business card, Tracy. Olivia snatched it up, right? But this sale is going with not through a realtor. So, and either way, here's the deal, everybody. Ronnie may sign on the dotted line. That house will not be Drew's until escrow closes. I don't care even if it is an all cash sale. Escrow will not close in a day. But in soap opera land, I guess it would if it were a legitimate cash offer sale. So anyway, she and Lucy talk about a story from Alan, and Tracy went in and she elaborated on it, and it just made her feel good talking about it. And Lucy said, see, that's what I'm talking about, Tracy. Didn't you just see Alan? I think they were talking about the train set and how he loved to do his thing. And didn't you just see him sitting there? And Tracy said, yeah. She goes, the memories you have, Tracy, are with you. They're not stuck in that house. Those are your memories. No matter where you are, when you think of those memories, you're right back there. And she told her, she says, you, because she was saying all the family was together, as much as I protested, there were enough people that pretty much on any given day, someone would walk into the kitchen that you could have a cup of coffee with or a cup of tea with. Somebody would walk in that you could argue with. So Lucy said, okay, so that's what we do. Tracy, it doesn't have to be that house. We can find another house that all of your family can move into, and you could still bump into each other in the kitchen. Ooh, this new house hasn't heard all the fights and the arguments that you all get into. And Tracy kind of looked at her. She goes, all of you will still have your memories, and you would all still be together, no matter where you go. So she looked at Lucy and she said, you know what? You could continue to show me houses. And Lucy says, yep, I do give good advice, but I won't tell anybody. And Tracy just looked at her. She said, but now you need to go because I need to go through each and every one of these boxes to arrange some things and kind of get stuff in order. So Lucy takes off, and then they show Tracy bubble wrapping, looking at stuff, bubble wrapping it, putting it, trying to organize, and they got this big tub that says storage, right? So she finally looks back at that box that says Alan's documents. And mind you, at the same time, now Drew and Martin are at the house. Michael did come because he said, you know what? I owe it to my grandmother to be there, to watch her dream be signed away. So he was talking to Ronnie, and I'm going to get back to Tracy. He was talking to Ronnie, and he was saying, Ronnie, Something else is going on here. I feel it. I don't believe you honestly want to sell to Drew. And she's, Michael, no, it's done. It's already, the paperwork is done. He goes, Ronnie, nothing is done. Nothing is done. He says, tell me, and I can help you, Ronnie. Because it's not about money. Are you telling people you want the money so you could go back home? It's not about money. Because I'm offering you double. So it's something else. And so she goes, you're right, Michael. You're right. It is something else going on here. And as she's getting ready to open up, Drew and Martin come busting in the front door. And Drew's looking at Michael smugly. He tried to goat Michael at the Metro Court where Michael was sitting with Sonny. And Michael just looked at him, right? And he realized, okay, that didn't work. And mind you, he was addressing Michael. Remember, I said he won't address, even though Michael is a real man. Michael's the one he's trying to get riled up. But he wouldn't address Sonny because Sonny would stand up. What'd you say to me? Hmm. You'll be seeing me real soon. Right? So, he really almost didn't even look at Sonny because, ooh, no, no. So anyway, Ronnie says, I have to. This house has to go to Drew. So they go to the table, I mean, the couch with the coffee table, and Martin puts the paperwork down because, oh, and Drew was trying to goat Michael standing there in the foyer saying, yeah, how's it going to feel, Michael? Because in just a few minutes, this house is going to be mine. And I'm going to be living in it with Willow and your kids. And Michael looked at him and Michael says, oh, that absolutely won't happen. And so he goes, oh, yeah. And Ronnie says, stop it. You do not have to be this cruel to him, talking to Drew, the way he's trying to goat Michael. And Martin looks and he sees that Ronnie is ready to crack, right? And so Martin says, hey, listen, listen. No, she's right. No, you need to calm down. Everybody just calm down. Let's get this done. And he's looking at Drew like it ain't done until she signs, idiot. Right? So that's when they go sit down. Drew signs real quick and he hands the pen to Ronnie. Ronnie's wringing her hands. She's all, and Michael says, Ronnie, you don't have to do this, Ronnie. Think of Monica. Think of Monica, Ronnie. So now we get back to, because they were going back, now we go to Tracy. She pulls the box that says Alan's documents down. And as she's pulling it down, she's seeing it says last will and testament of Monica. She almost drops that box on the floor. Boom. She's trying to put it down. And she goes, last will and testament of Monica Quartermain. And they leave it right there, right? And then that we're back to Drew saying, okay, Ronnie, here's the pen. And Martin's like, sign it, Ronnie. So she takes the pen, but they don't show her sign it. They leave it right there, right? Now they showed scenes. I can't even remember who they showed in them scenes, but I remember the last thing they showed. Tracy had that envelope in her arms with her purse going out of Lulu's door and said, I'm coming for you, Ronnie Bard, or she may have even said Veronica Bard. So she's headed out the door with a vengeance. So here's the deal. Even if Ronnie signs, it'll be null and void. Null and void. Because the house doesn't belong to her to sign over. And Me personally, even though I'm pissed the way they had Martin blackmail and Ronnie, I'm happy everybody they didn't drag this out. They would have lost too many viewers dragging it out. So I hope Ronnie signs it. So Drew can say, now this is mine. It's mine. Michael, how you feel now? Right? I just hope Michael keeps his cool and just walks out the front door. I don't want Michael to assault Drew because that will give Drew a run. Remember, Jason could do whatever. But Michael, Jason didn't hit Drew. Michael needs to swipe the cane from under him again when he stand up. But anyway, I hope Michael just leaves. Because what Sonny told him when they were at the Metro Court, and he was looking over at Drew. Drew was at the other table. Who was he talking with? Nina. And Sonny was saying, Michael, we need to, I have to tell you what's happening here. Willow has a great attorney now. And Michael's like, so what? He goes, no, Michael, not so what. But sidebar with that. I don't know why Sonny's having this meeting with Michael on this sensitive topic at the Metro Court dining room. Do you notice, everybody? They haven't shown Sonny in his house since Lois knocked on the door and talked to him. Why didn't he call Michael to his house? He called Michael to the Metro Court. I didn't get that. So anyway, Michael is like, he goes, the jury. Oh no, he says, it's Alexis. And Michael just looks at Sonny and is like, okay, it's Alexis. He goes, Alexis is good at what she does. And she's going to bring up, what a hard life Willow has had and the time in the cult and everything that Willow has gone through. She lost her baby and all of this stuff. And she fought and battled cancer. And Michael said, okay, that still doesn't make her a fit mother. He goes, actually, Michael's like, what she has gone through can put some doubt in there. Because my Sonny goes, contrast to you. You've led a privileged life. You this, that, and he goes, you know what? Wait a minute. He goes, Willow has destroyed our family. And Michael's kind of raising his voice a little bit, not yelling, but talking stern. She destroyed our family with my uncle. She took my kid across state line without permission. She, didn't initiate any contact while I was trying to recover, and she moved my children in. And he goes, aside from the fact she was stalking Daisy, and Sonny says, you have no proof of that. It doesn't matter that I don't have proof. She did it. And so Sonny says, Michael, see this right here, the absolute anger in your voice and the anger on your face. He said, that's what Alexis is going to bring out. And Michael, it's going to show you are absolutely capable of shooting him. And Michael said, I would think of all people, I wouldn't have to worry about my father believing in my innocence. He says, it has nothing to do with that, Michael. It has everything to do with your state of mind and what Alexis can bring out to cause reasonable doubt on Willow and pointing all the fingers at you, especially with what Lulu did with the press. That's what I'm trying to talk to you about, Michael. You can't have any outburst. No incidents with Drew. Okay, you need to taper your temper. And Michael's just looking at him, right? So that's when Drew came over, said, I'm on my way to the signing. That house is gonna be mine. And then he said something else, and Michael just looking up at him, right? Squinty eyed looking at him. And then Drew just walks off because Michael didn't give him a rise. So when he walked by, Sonny said, see, good, good. You handled yourself well there. Yeah, he tried to goat you and you didn't bite. Good job. So anyway, that's when Michael says, look, I gotta go. I gotta go to the signing. And he goes, you're gonna go? And he said, yeah, I'm gonna show up for my grandmother. So anyway, it's gonna be really good next week. I can't wait. Oh my goodness. Tracy is coming with a vengeance. And Martin's gonna say, that's a forged one. Nope, nope. But that's gonna be enough to halt that sale. She should call Tracy, Diane, Miller, or she can't call Alexis. Well, yes, she absolutely has to call Alexis because Alexis is Monica's attorney where the will is concerned. And if it's named, she is named as the one getting the property, now I'm gonna get my own attorney to represent me. Don't have to be Alexis. Diane is actually the best one, but we'll see. We got such a shortage of attorneys going on in Port Charles. All this crap going on. We hard pressed to find one. We need an organic. Come on. Now then they had a cute little dig, not dig, but a cute little flat blast to the past. Because let's face it, Erica Slasic's time, we should pretty much next week should be it for her, right? She walked into Bobby's and Jack Brennan, he was sitting at the table waiting for Carly. And she looks, she goes, Joey? What's so funny, right? She walks over to him and he turns and he looks at her. And the funny thing is, the look they were both giving each other. That was too cute. That was a flashback to One Life to Live past, right? And he stands up, he goes, I'm sorry. You have me confused. My name is not Joey. And she goes, oh, you know what? You remind me of someone that I know and or knew. And he says, maybe in another life, we knew each other. He should have said, because we only got one life to live. That would have been funny. But I did like that. They let those characters for that one brief scene interact, and I loved the way they did it. That was cute. Gio was disappointed when Ronnie said she was selling the house, and he was like, but after everything you said to me and all the things you know about Drew, how could you sell the house to him? Gio was like, the Quartermains are good people. He says, even Tracy. And Ronnie just looked at him, and Gio was just like, oh my God. Right? So then let's see what else happened. Sidwell brings Britt in, tells Dalton he answers to her now. And Britt says, when she walked in, she says, I don't know how you have allowed my father's work to get in this kind of condition, right? Like you're doing a horrible job. So anyway, he wanted to protest, and Sidwell says, "Oh, you don't have a choice." Because he goes, I don't like working with people. And he says, "Oh, you're mistaken. You won't be working with her. You will be working for her." And he looked, he says, "Yeah, she'll be in charge because we're going to get results." So when Jack left, Dalton tries to proposition her, saying, why should he? Why we're the ones, the masterminds, we're the ones with the brains, we're the ones doing all the work. Why don't we just sell the project ourselves? Why should we let them reap the benefits? And Britt's just kind of looking at him like, I'm gonna let you keep talking. You know, I'm gonna let you keep talking to really feel you out to see where you're coming from. And in comes Emma bursting in, said, "I'm sorry I'm late. I'm sorry I'm late." And she goes, "Britt, what are you doing here?" And Britt just looks at her. And Dalton looks like, "Oh, you know her?" Yeah. Like, "Oh, you know her?" So that's going to be interesting with Emma in the mix. It's Britt's involvement is not going to be a secret with Emma in the mix. Dalton's going to have to tell her, "You know what? Your internship is over. Thank you so much for all your hard work." Because he can't have Emma coming around, and Emma already said, now he's changed it to electronic. You have to have a fob to get in, so a key won't even work. So she's trying to figure out. She told Gio, "I got to make a move. We got to make it fast." So anyway, I don't care about Emma at all. And I think Nina talks to Sonny. This is the last thing I'm gonna talk about. Nina talks to Sonny, and he goes, I don't feel. She goes, I need to talk. He goes, "I don't think that's a good idea. Seeing as the situation we're in with that, Michael, and you're in with Willow, no, I don't think that's a good idea. It's about them. And no, it's how we can help." And he looked at her. He goes, "You got 2 minutes." So they sit down. She says, Willow is a prime suspect, and so is Michael." She says, "But there is another person in the mix that nobody knows about that also could be a prime suspect. And reasonable doubt can be made based upon this other person. Drew Kane was blackmailing Portia. I don't know what for. I don't know what she did, but he was blackmailing her. And she would have every reason to want him dead. And he looked. Now, mind you, she was the one that saved him in the operating room. So that whole theory won't hold water. Now, Curtis is the one that would get the finger pointed towards more than Portia. Curtis is the one threatening him in public, right? So he goes, "Okay, so why are you telling me this?" She goes, "Because you need to be the one to, bring Portia's name in the mix. Because, the Jacinda thing, Portia and I were working together on that. And it can't be known that I was the one that, put her name out there." And I'm thinking, yeah, because now you got me in trouble, chick, I'm gonna get you in trouble. You're the one that paid Jacinda. Now we both in trouble for this. And she goes, "Portia's my friend, so I can't be the one." And I'm thinking, no, Portia ain't your friend, Nina. Curtis was your friend. And you are throwing Curtis really to the wolves. Hmm. But okay, Nina. She goes, "I will do anything to get my daughter off." And I thought, yeah, including burning Michael. And Sonny, she goes, and you can understand that. And he's just looking at her like, yeah, I do, because I'll do anything to make sure the suspicion ain't on my son, right? So we'll see. Now, Portia, look, this stress that she's gonna go under the microscope and the stress, that's probably gonna have her cause her to have that miscarriage. Something's gonna, I don't believe they're gonna bring a baby into the picture. I just don't. So anyway, everybody, my sore throat is almost gone, just a tiny bit left. Um, I'm happy to say I'm coming on the other side of this. Without, I actually did not have to have antibiotics, but boy, 4 days with that, that was crazy. A lot of ginger and lemon and honey and all of that, right? And I lived on Ricola drops. So anyway, I'll be back Monday doing my daily recaps, but everybody, it's going to be on and popping next week. We're going to have a lot to deal with in Comment Corner and the voice line, and I'm ready for it. So I will see you all on Monday.